Hey, welcome back. It's the Young Money Boys, Young Money Markets. Hey, we're excited to have you. This is we're without Nick right now. He's on his way. We got Josh, Eric, Ryan. We're excited for today. There's a lot to talk about. I have some of the topics here next to me. We're going to keep talking about mirror, which I thought was an interesting conversation last time. I'm gonna get into it with Josh, trying to see where the money's coming from. We got a $1.9 trillion stimulus that was signed. S&P up today. Nasdaq up 2.5%. Bitcoin continuing to run 57, 58K. Big times. What do you think, Josh?
Crazy times. Are we going new highs or what are we doing here?
Man,
You know what I
I'm.
mean?
I know. New highs with everything. I think Nasdaq seeing new highs. Uh, Bitcoin seeing new highs. Everything's seeing new highs. How long can that last? I wonder.
Well, if we keep printing, this could just be the new norm, right? Just everybody keep printing. All the central governments just keep it coming. I think everything will be everything will be all right, right?
I know. I saw the. I'd like to try to see if I could bring it up, but I saw a global debt chart on Twitter. Um, there's a cool website. I don't know if maybe you can help me find it, but there's this website that covers like the U.S. debt, and it had a chart of all of the well, most of the global economies and their
Do you
debt.
ever use the what is it, the American debt calculator or something like that? What is it?
I think it was on that,
U.S.
but
debt.
it might be like a global debt. But I was seeing like Greece is like 230% of their GDP.
That's so
Their debt
fucked up.
is 230% of their
Damn.
GDP.
So we're up
The
to
U the
28 trill, bro. 28
yeah
trillion of
the
national
U.S.
debt.
the
That's
U.S. I
crazy.
think is like 101% of GDP.
That's the top.
I don't
Do
know
we
how
have a
that.
chart of that over time? Because it'd be nice to see how that's changed
Yeah, that
recently compared to.
Yeah.
Because I know Greece has always had that issue.
that
Well,
website will tell you everything, man. That if you, it has a lot of data in there to like look
let
at
me
like
see.
the debt clock. It's called like the debt clock, and you can fast forward in time and see what the debt's gonna look like in the future.
Ooh,
Stuff like
yeah, we
that.
should bring that up. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, see if you can find it. I saw kind of a cool graph today on Twitter, so I'm gonna see if I can find that. I think I might have liked it, and I can pull it up. But the point is, like, it kind of makes me question Josh because a lot of people would say that the U.S. went over 100% of our GDP in debt here recently, and I always felt like once you get over that 100%, and I know it's not just me saying this, I've heard other smarter people than me say this. Once you get over that 100%, it's like a slippery slope, and you get into really dangerous situation. I just found the thing I was looking for, um, and let me try to make it bigger.
Yeah,
But
put
yeah,
that on the screen.
yeah. Let me pull it up here. I'm gonna zoom in first. All right. Yeah, it's usdebtclock.org. You're right. Is what it's off of, and pull it
Is it
up.
higher than World War II?
As a percentage of GDP,
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
because it
Um,
hit 112 in 1945.
yeah, so like I said, 101% public debt to GDP, external debt to GDP, 130%.
Oh
Now
wow.
look at Japan, 271%, which Japan and Greece are always the examples, but like I was saying, and there's Greece with 237%. Um, so yeah, I saw this on Twitter, and it looks like you can find it at usdebtclock.org if we want to show something that wasn't uh, a mobile shot. But my point is like I my position has always been like if you can just print and print and print and print, then money is kind of worthless. But Japan and Greece, they're challenging that idea because their debt to GDP. Now, granted, they're not the global reserve currency either, but um, they're challenging that. They're saying no, we can just keep printing, we can just keep printing, we can add more and more debt. And I don't know, we'll see.
Do you know what their monetary policy is compared to ours? What Japan's doing as far as printing?
Yeah, Japan has been known. Uh, Japan is known as the best example of managing inflation and just printing out of control. Um, Josh, did you see the? I shared that video from what's his name, Max. I can't remember what his last name is, where
Is
he
there? He's an
yeah,
OG.
yeah, and he was doing that presentation, and he's like, Japan are terrorists, and the Fed are terrorists, and like
I
so.
didn't see it. I'm not surprised though.
Hey man, I'm
That's
Japanese,
awesome.
I'm Japanese and French.
That's a cool mixture, man. Japanese and French. That's an awesome background. But yeah, no, I'm in that school of thought where, not that I don't know if I would use the term terrorist, but I just don't see, because Japan has been doing this a lot longer than the US, and people that believe that you can just print and print and print and print, and for example, you can go into negative interest rates, they're pointing at places like Greece or Japan or other European primarily locations where they're saying, look, it's working out for them. And I don't see how long term it's possible to do that. Just continue to devalue your money.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see how. Do you know how long Japan's been doing that? Because
Yeah,
they seem to
yeah, for a couple
a long
decades.
time, a couple decades.
Yeah.
So maybe they just have practice. They know what they're doing. Maybe they're ahead of us. You
You
know?
do you remember the 2008 crash with for Greece? They had to their country had to get bailed out. So
Yeah.
like what we're talking about is when the bubble pops. um I mean, look at, I don't know how much you've researched the German mark in the late teens, 19 teens, and the early 20s, but maybe we
With
can
the
pull up that.
hyperinflation.
Yeah, and so you've seen
I've
the
seen the
hyperinflation charts.
comparisons of that one to Bitcoin, and it kind of shows that Bitcoin's early with the basically the devaluation of the German mark. And was it compared to gold? What were they comparing it to?
Yeah, here I'll pull up a picture here. Copy image.
Yeah, I think Japan's just had some extra time there. They just have had more practice with it, and
Well,
yeah, that so in paper marks. So yeah,
what I'm what I'm
gold,
saying.
right?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that we don't have any examples of long term. Like when you think about like Japan lasting a couple decades, that's one thing. But we don't. But you also have to think about how fast their economy has grown. Like think about Japan's economy. So it's probably offset some of that. But if you look at a chart like this is the path that everything eventually goes, starting with the Romans, and the German mark was the most recent, kind of global currency that faced this in the 20s. And so we don't have any examples of anybody devaluing a currency like we are in the U.S., like Japan has, like Greece has, and others, and not seeing hyperinflation. It doesn't exist. And Josh, I know you're into real estate. This kind of hit home for me here. Um, we had there was a headline today that I was reading, that I believe is one of the senators, was suggesting that we cancel rent and mortgage through April of 2022. And so like what we're talking
Yikes.
about, right? Yeah, so like what we're talking about right now is like, let me just say it like this, like think about this. I like to think about like what if time travel really did exist? Like what would it look like? And I would argue that like if somebody really did know how to time travel, and if somebody like was was way out in the future and they figured out like on a blockchain technology and all this kind of stuff, and if they figured out they're like, I'm going to come back for one purpose because I saw what happened to the currencies starting in like 2008, 2009, because that's really when all this stuff really started globally to really become a major problem. I know it's insane to say, but like if you look at the halving and if you look how it's like almost programmed exactly, like it was released during like the 2009 crisis. You think about this, the halving happens in 2020. And I know I'm being kind of facetious about like time travel, but like it is insane that like the halving happens, we cut all of the supply, and then literally that year is like the craziest year we've had in like 100 years, and there's more printing than we've ever seen globally. And it's just like if you were going to
That's
try to
perfect
like,
timing.
yeah, if you were going to try to create like an advertisement for Bitcoin after the 2020 halving, like this is exactly what it would look like.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you heard of Alex Jones?
Yeah.
So the other day, I can't tell if he's lying or what, but he was saying that Kaiser had given him, uh, they're worth $500 million now, Bitcoins, and he either broke the laptop or lost the laptop, and so the money's gone. And he was saying that aliens created it because of the timing, because of who's allowed to get into it first. It's just everything about it is seemingly perfect if once you're on the inside, once you go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, it just seems too good to be true. It's someone had something access to some knowledge that the rest of us didn't have. And it's planned out perfectly, allowing the little guys and just normal Joes outside of finance to get in first before the big dudes can even get a piece.
Just one thing
And
that's like similar to that is like like when the dollar was first created, the American seal was like given to us by like a secret uh, like entity. Like supposedly like the founding fathers received the seal artwork from a secret entity. So this is like
Huh.
that's why I thought Bitcoin was similar to that, because there's also a secret entity involved in its
I
creation
think I
too.
think you're
you talking about
thinking of
Illuminati?
not, well, people talk about Illuminati, but I think you're talking about the Templar, the
Ooh,
Templar, right? That's
Templar
because
Knights?
yeah, it's like the triangle and whatnot, or
You
the
guys are going
pyramid.
all conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, we're getting into weird.
Well, you
The,
got
the,
the
the,
Templars, you got the Freemasons, you got
the Freemasons, what I was trying to think of.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Okay.
Asians
Freemasons.
got their own stuff too. Like,
But yeah, and that's probably a totally different topic. But yeah, no,
I mean, I'm into that stuff. That stuff's fun, but yeah, definitely different topic.
yeah. There's what were you saying, Josh, about the oh shoot, what were you talking about before we got off on the Templar thing? Because I had a,
Inflation. I don't know.
what was it?
I have no clue.
yeah, we're talking about
Oh,
hyperinflation. But
Was it
okay.
I think
hyperinflation?
as a
Oh
being
no,
being
Satoshi.
America.
Satoshi. So I have this good friend who is, I can't say much about him. Okay. I was sworn to secrecy that I wouldn't share publicly a lot of the information that he shared with me. But this guy is like the leading Satoshi expert like in the world. And he's done all kind of analysis. And the first thing you were talking about, Alex Jones, and how he lost his computer. So some of the things that I can share about um, what he told me was, I asked him, okay, so you've read every single thing that Satoshi has said a million times. You know everything about this stuff. So help me understand, like, what happens when Bitcoin goes to $100,000, or I can't remember what the number is. Maybe it's 1 million. I can't remember. But what happens when the price of Bitcoin gets to a certain level and Satoshi becomes the richest person in the world? I said, what happens? And because to me, I'm like, Satoshi has to have some type of like grand plan. Like, I have all these Bitcoin, like I built this thing for free, I made it available to everyone. Anybody in the world could buy them basically for free for the first 2 years. Like, you could literally go to websites and just type in a code and they would give you free Bitcoin. So like I made it all available. Now they're worth a lot. And my thinking is Satoshi has something planned where it's going to like programmatically release to the world at some point. That's my thinking.
Like a
And so
redistribution?
well, that's my thinking is like we get to a point where they've they've got to such a level, such a value, and now maybe Satoshi says, okay, I saved all of these coins so that they could be redistributed in whatever way. Satoshi's a lot smarter than us. He can obviously, or she or whoever can see the future, and so have some type of grand plan of redistributing like the early mine Genesis coins, the Satoshi mine. And so I asked him this question because this is kind of stuff that bothers me. And he said, because he's studied all of these early addresses, and I can't share all the details, but the one thing that absolutely shocked me was he said, I really think that Satoshi probably the hard drives he had them stored on probably were lost, probably were crashed. And I'm like, you are blowing my mind. Like you've researched
Because
this
they
stuff.
haven't moved.
Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah.
exactly.
Some of those first ones haven't moved since they've been.
No, they never have. They never have.
Yeah.
No, none of them have. None of
None of them
Satoshi's
have?
coins. No, they're all still there. And so like this guy that I'm talking to knows all about all of these addresses, all of these coins, and I'm just like, think about this though, Josh. Like, you and I are totally sold on Bitcoin. We went all in on Bitcoin, and like what we're saying is like this, guy or gal or whoever made this like world changing thing, and like we're trying to convince people to like self custody, and literally like one of the smartest people in human history to create like one of the greatest currency in human history, their hard drives crashed and they can't retrieve their Bitcoin. That was
It's possible.
insane to
It's
hear.
possible, but I think it's more likely that like it's in like a government safe or something.
I heard
I
it
don't.
was in Fort Knox.
Yeah, it's like
I
probably
think
Fort Knox.
I would.
That's what,
So the U.S. government does have Bitcoin. They confiscated. The FBI confiscated them, but
from Silk Road.
They do it all the time.
um,
Every day they're
from a
probably
number they
they're
have
probably
like
doing some.
the last I saw, the U.S. government had like 75,000 Bitcoin that they had confiscated.
Wow,
Shit.
it's way
So,
more than I
but
thought.
but like but wait a second though. If you guys are saying that Satoshi would give his Bitcoin to the U.S. government, I think you guys are way off on that, because or any
Oh,
government.
I'm not at all saying that. I've just heard it, and I have no clue. I have no
Yeah.
clue. I don't really get into the speculation of that because we
I
don't
think
really know, do we?
I think
Does anybody
it's
know?
possible though. I mean, like it's one of the
Yeah.
options. It's like one of
Yeah.
the top
Yep.
five probably scenarios.
I think broken makes more sense. I think or broken or lost because it happens all the time, and I think Alex Jones has some. He's probably just fibbing about the number. I
Yeah.
think he might be. He said Kaiser gave him like tens of thousands, like 12,000 or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
He seems to be a guy that might stretch the reality a
Yeah,
little bit, but
yeah, he does.
yeah.
He's a showman.
And I know we wanted to get into mirror Josh, but just while we're on this topic, the other thing that stood out to me from the stimulus, um, my wife was telling me, and I haven't looked into this a lot, but I guess they're proposing that we break up the child tax credit to be dispersed monthly, which to me, because if you have kids, you get a tax credit, and so all of these people are getting a tax credit on, as a refund on their taxes.
What's the benefit of
Um,
doing it monthly opposed to just getting one lump sum?
that's the good question to me that I thought was kind of an interesting topic. Um, to me, like I used to work with, for example, like I worked with like a few companies. I do marketing, and so I worked for a few companies in the past, and like there's a lot of people that will buy a lot of big ticket items when they get their tax returns. Um, is it better if those people, if we're gonna have these benefits anyways, is it better to just give it out monthly versus I actually think that's one of the things, if you're gonna do it, that to me seems like it makes some sense.
You're saying monthly checks for everybody, or just the kids thing, or
So instead of you getting like $3,000 per child as a tax credit, they're saying we're just going to give you the $3,000, except for we're going to break it up over 12 payments and we're going to give it to you monthly.
Yeah, I would rather take the big lump
well,
sum because
yeah, for sure.
in a business class, and in my business class before, I realized something. It's called like future value, where like your
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
has like a future value, which is
Yep.
normally going to be less than it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
Time value of money, right?
yeah, the time value of
Yeah.
money, and so yeah, you probably should just like get that big chunk of money and just throw it in Ethereum for your kids' like college fund.
That's what they're trying to get away with, because they're not going to spend it on their kids. They're gonna gamble with it, or go have some fun with it. But actually, Ethereum would probably be, well, short term, I think would be all right. But
Yeah.
I get it, because some people can't handle the $3 grand lump sum. They're not responsible with it. So some folks, yeah, they probably should do the monthly, because they'll just waste it. But not everyone's thinking like you, Eric, and is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just invest it. Like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
every second that goes by, all these dollars coming out on the markets, and my dollars are getting cheaper. So yeah, you invest it.
So did you guys want to do the mirror protocol next?
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
I
Okay.
just had something to tidy up, because last time I didn't. I missed a important thing. It definitely doesn't affect my thesis, but I think it's important to share, because it was left out. Um, there's this thing called impermanent loss when you're doing liquidity pools. When you're a liquidity provider, and it affects your upside. Now, I think what I'll do here is first show. I'm gonna first show the Medium article that kind of explains it. There's pictures and stuff. If you just type in liquidity provider on YouTube, there's a great video of an example of Ethereum and DAI, and they'll explain it. And I honestly, I can't even explain it. It's too complex. There's just a balancing thing. When Ethereum goes up, they got to rebalance the pool, and you don't capture 100% of Ethereum's gains. You're getting kind of chopped off, because you're in the liquidity pool. So with that, with my analysis, I need to add in those capped gains, and I'll just show you that first. I'll show you that real quick.
Jeez, I'm trying to see if I can pull up my
Um,
my history with the uni liquid folio. Oh, okay, you got some data.
yeah, so I showed this last time. This was just, if you put in, we'll get a nice clean number here. We'll just do 10,000. Well, and um, I've been tracking these ones pretty closely daily. So these daily amounts they're they're spot on. It's where it's hard to gauge is the fall off of the APR. And so the point that the impermanent loss that I missed last time is over here. So when Bitcoin goes up 100%, right? And you have 10,000 in. If you just buy Bitcoin, it's going to go up to 20 grand, right? It's going to double. Now, if you have the liquidity pool token, it's a little different. You're over here now. There's what is this point? It's 5.7% is actually chopped off when you're doing it. So it ends up being about $285. When it triples, it's about 1,340, and then when it quadruples, you lose about 3,000. This is after a year, by the way, and when the price changes. Now it goes both ways. This is the beauty of it. This is why I really like it, is because it protects your downside too. So when Ethereum falls in that example, or your synthetic Bitcoin, you're not losing as much as you would if you had it all in that underlying asset. So if you had 10 grand, right, same example, and you lose 50% and you're all in Bitcoin, you're down to 5,000, right? Well, over here, you have to add back in, because you're actually not losing the total 5,000. You're losing something like 4,715. And I can show you this.
But it's like the longer you have it in there, like the more you're losing type of thing. The more it degrades.
No,
It just depends.
It's actually the price change. It's not the time. If the price changes less over time, you're actually better, because you're not unless it goes down, it doesn't matter. But
True,
when it
'cause,
goes
like,
up,
if your ETH
you're not going to.
doubles and then you have one that stays the same price.
So Josh, why? And the reason for this is because they take a 50-50 split of your investment, right? Like the $10,000, like 5,000 of it's being invested in the synthetic Bitcoin, and 5,000 is being invested in this UST, correct?
Yep.
For liquidity. So the way that I would understand it, Josh, is I would just think about it as, okay, I'm going to invest $10,000, but really what I'm investing in $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, and the price is pegged to Bitcoin, and $5,000 of it is essentially a stable coin, which you're calling a liquidity pool, and I'm going to make a certain percent on the liquidity pool, and I'm going to take whatever the price of Bitcoin is, right? That's really what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you too. Like, I have something that's really obvious. Pretty much, I have.
Can
Like,
you see that pic though?
Yeah,
Or
we
this?
got the
So
median.
that's the exact runoff. If Bitcoin, it's all about relative. So when you make the LP token, Bitcoin has a set price, right? The stable coin just stays. And if Bitcoin goes up 100%, if it goes to 200%, 300%, you can see the trail off here, and you lose a little bit on the upside.
Yeah, and Josh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I can't explain fully why it does this. It just does. There's a video. If you just type it in on YouTube, you can. There's great videos that show why this is. I'm not the guy to show you that.
Yeah, I'll
You
show
can't
you. I'll show you my liquid folio that you should let me share. Let me share this.
Yep.
I got
Let's
it.
do that.
What part of it are you not able to explain, Josh? I guess it's seeming clear. It's seeming clear to me.
Okay, so it's when you put 5,000 in of the synthetic Bitcoin and 5,000 in of your UST. We're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin price changes, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It goes up and down, and then
Yep.
the
Yep.
UST
I got that.
stays.
I got
So
that. Yep.
when it goes up,
Yep.
you're losing a little bit, because the entirety of the pool needs to rebalance back to 50-50. You see what I mean?
Oh, so you're
So there's
so you're losing some of your Bitcoin value.
You're losing some
You're
of the
actually
Bitcoin
losing
value.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
You're actually losing Bitcoin. They're actually taking Bitcoin
Yes.
to get you back to.
Get you back to
That's
parity.
okay.
Get you back to par.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And it's not
Okay.
real Bitcoin. It is synthetic.
It's synthetic. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
so that's how. Okay, so that when you were explaining last week, you were trying to explain how they peg the price to a certain point. That's how they're doing it.
All right, so do you see that? You guys see my screen?
Yep.
You guys see
Yep.
what's going on right now? So, alright, this is Liquid Folio, so it shows me all my pairs and stuff. So I was pairing ETH and UNDB to get the farming rewards from this. And so down here it shows you that like so I'm Uniswap pool ROI, I lost 18.52% by keeping my. This is how much impermanent loss I incurred from this transaction. And then I still made 31.76%. But there's that big chunk is cut out of there. But I only used let's see. Yeah, I only put 3,500 in there. I took out 4,000, like 700 almost. But I also made one, like 1.5 UNDB, which is this coin right here. So these things are like $1,300 each right now. So
Nice. How long did that take to
that was
accrue?
like, it was like 100 something days. So
Wow.
it shows you down here, like I added this much ETH. So altogether I put like 2.5 ETH in there. And
Can
it was,
you
it
can you
was,
take your mouse and hover on the eye on the Uniswap pool ROI once?
which one? Where?
You said the impermanent loss
Oh, the
spot.
impermanence loss is right here.
Yeah, can you hover on the eye once? Because it gives you a
Okay.
little
Return attribute to the Uniswap pool. This includes the crop
price
fees.
variation.
Always
Okay.
fees have occurred, and the effect due to price variation, positive or
Yeah.
negative.
So
Yeah.
that
So if
is
the price
impermanent
goes up.
loss.
Yep.
So
And if
see,
the
because I
price
put
goes
my
up,
ETH
you lose
in,
value.
I
Yeah.
put the ETH in at 580 bucks, and that's why. Because when I first put it in, it was 580 bucks ETH, and then the UNDB was $1,800 a coin.
And when you
So
pulled it out, it was 1,200. So you
yeah,
lost 18% of the ETH, but because of the rewards from staking, you actually made money.
yeah.
But Josh, the mirror would be a heck of a place to put your Bitcoin. If you feel comfortable with it, if you feel comfortable with the security, it'd be a heck of a place to put your Bitcoin when you feel like Bitcoin has reached its peak. Because if Bitcoin is short, then you're going to win that bet
I didn't
if
think about
Bitcoin is
that.
short.
You're kind of like shorting it.
You are shorting Bitcoin.
That's shorting. Yeah, low
No,
key, kind of. Well, think about it.
you
If you had 100k Bitcoin and then you just matched it with 7k ETH, and then all of a sudden 100k Bitcoin drops down to like 75k, and then the
Yeah.
ETH stays the same or
days.
relatively the
Yeah,
same, then
Yeah,
you're
you're
gonna
going to
come
pay
up
out.
with like a bunch
you're
of ETH.
you're going to you're not going to lose as much on the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's going to be here, but you're actually going to be up here. You're not going to lose as much of Bitcoin. So if you were holding them both separate, not in the pool, you would have just lost on the Bitcoin, right? Just the percentage
No, no,
that
no,
Bitcoin went down.
no. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I was,
what I'm saying is that let's say Bitcoin goes to 300K, and you're like, man, I'm happy at 300K. I feel like we're nearing a peak. You could put all your Bitcoin in there, and let's say at that point you have one Bitcoin. Let's just say, okay, and if you put all your Bitcoin in there, and let's say Bitcoin goes from 300K to 100K, you're going to see a dramatic increase in the number of Bitcoin that you have as the price goes down because it's going to continue to level set. So
I'm,
your
I'm
True,
so
true,
your
but you have to
UST
match it
values
with
are going to go down, but
you have to match it with a coin that you don't mind holding though.
well, UST.
UST.
Yeah.
Right now it's UST, unless you can find a different spot. I've thought about that. I've thought about it a lot, and I'm like, I would have a if it happens this if it actually it's already long term status for my big win. My tax would be pretty unfavorable. I'd have a pretty big tax, and especially if I time the top, I don't know if I'd make it fast enough where I'd rather just start accumulating in Mir now while the APR is high? Because I don't see the APRs staying high this whole time.
Are you
It is
locking
already
up
falling.
anything? Are you locking up any assets for any period of time in Mir?
Like a staking period.
Meaning you can't withdraw them or you'll
Oh, I
break
can take
the
it
contract?
out. Take it out right now. I just there's
Okay.
no
Okay.
lockups.
Okay.
I thought about it. I feel comfortable showing you guys if you guys actually want to see with numbers how it's done.
Yeah, sure.
Um, I've been in there for about 2 weeks, and I'm making about making about $24 a day with 6,400 invested, and
Not
I've
bad.
made so the Bitcoin one's up more in terms of just the value of the actual LP because Bitcoin has gone up since I got in. I got in when Bitcoin was at 35,000, or sorry, 55,000, and then I got in again at 48,000. So average 43, but Tesla is about even. But I'm up pretty high on Tesla because of the APR. You can see that APR is 159. It's pretty high still compared to the Bitcoin. But I harvest, once a day, like $24 right now. And I have 6,500 locked up, and
Great.
it over for the past 2 weeks. It has stayed pretty pretty steady at that $24 a day. And today was the first day I noticed it went down to $23. So it has slowed down a little bit after 2 weeks. And the weird thing is, it stayed like pretty consistent for the 2 weeks, and then it just 23 this day.
Yeah.
But when I harvested my rewards here, I accidentally forgot to restake them. So there was 2 hours where I forgot to restake. So I'm thinking maybe it's slowed because of that. So I'll know next time when I restake and go another day. But
Cool.
I've totally thought about that, Ryan, about just like it just seems too good to be true. Even though I'm at 8% now of it, I have a pretty good portion of you know trading funds within this account, and I can't see myself putting selling Bitcoin and turn it into synthetic and start staking with it. I'm just not ready for that.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't be either. And that's actually what I was hoping to get into was, when everything started popping, it looks like Eric, I think it was right around, it was fall. Looks like you were in like December, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm thinking I got in maybe like September of last year, right? When Curve .fi, I think is what it is, took off. Everyone was talking about it, and so I'm like, all right, well, I at least want to learn how this works. And I never send things, through the ETH network, so I never pay many gas fees and stuff like that. But I sent like 5 grand or something like that, and I put it into the staking on Curve, because it was at like 120, 130%, something like that. I'm like, okay, let me just see how this works. And I let the money sit in there for a little while. And when I took it out, the gas fees were more than the profit that I made. And um, not only that, but there was like a transaction fee. I don't know. I don't understand all this stuff. I was glad I got the money out because it wasn't maybe a month or two later, Curve had some type of hack.
Ooh,
And all the people, the thing is, like, this is what bothers me though, Josh, is because like, and Eric, it's everyone just groups, including myself, we group all of these solutions into DeFi, right? Like Bitcoin was the first DeFi, and now like I love the idea of me having a wallet, and through smart contracts, nobody has access to my coins, and through a smart contract, when I agree to something, it transfers theirs from over here and mine from over here, and they pass to one another. I love the idea of that. However, it seems crazy to me that um, that there's so many hacks with a DeFi model that I just described. And so what happens is all of the DeFis get grouped into this one pile, and you have like, your aunt at Thanksgiving being like, "Oh, Bitcoin, isn't that the thing that's always getting hacked?" Well, no, Bitcoin's never actually been hacked. But what you're hearing about are all these other DeFi applications and exchanges and people losing passwords and stuff like that. And so what bugs me is like, I don't know, as like a normal guy, I don't know how to tell if Mir is, for example, audited and protected, and like I don't know if I could take $100,000 and put it in Mirror and trust it and sleep well. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I don't know even know if there's enough liquidity. So I just feel like somehow we have to find a way as a community to make it clearer to people what's safe and what's not safe. And until we get to there, I think guys like me are going to
So
continue to be skeptical.
it's tough. In this example, they do have docs, and they're pretty transparent. They have the person, they have the third party audits, and I looked them up. They seem legit. They're on Facebook and Twitter, and they got hundreds of followers. They are a South Korean company, but I, it's tough. Like how, if you're malicious and if you're gonna set up this thing, why would you? I guess they are getting better. We'll say that you would have to get better as far as your scams if you're gonna keep scamming, and that could happen. It really could. So I'm not going all in on Mirror. I think that'd be silly, even though I really do like it, and the numbers are up. Money locked in is up. It just I don't know. The money's coming in right now. Who knows? It might go to shit in a month. I watch it like a hawk. I'm the kind of guy, like, if I smell something, I'm out. You know, and we can go into BlockFi here. I know there was something being posted in our
Yep.
chat, about this hit piece against BlockFi that came out 2 days ago, and I had actually got out last week. I got out before it because I was getting sent a bunch of emails from them for verification of my identity for the third time, and they actually sent it again to me today. I'm already out. They sent it again. I already did it to pull my funds out on Friday,
What
and
is
I had to
it?
wait.
What's wrong with them? Is it you can't pull your money out of BlockFi right now, or what?
I got out. I know another guy in our group just got out. Scott got out just fine. Um,
But you're saying
there's
money's
this.
locked in there right now? I only got like 450 bucks in there, but
No. I think you're fine. I really do. I read
I
the
think
piece. I think there's just some maxis that are kind of like anti-bank and Bitcoin.
so. Eric, what's happening is BlockFi shut down their new registrations.
yeah,
And
that's normal.
and yeah, which is normal this time of a cycle, when they're getting hit all over.
Yeah, as soon
But
as the
there's
bull market, that's how you know the bull market is starting. Like,
right, right. But
that's like some signs.
Can I
somebody,
bring it up?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
somebody put together this website, and basically what they're saying is that BlockFi has gotten themselves in a bad trade,
Huh.
which could
GBTC
put,
trade?
yeah,
They own a bunch of GBTC.
Supposedly.
yes, yes, 1.8 billion, but um, yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say I didn't know this, and to me, if this trade is real, it's pretty silly because GBTC is always going to underperform Bitcoin. I'm just wondering why they're doing this. It just doesn't seem like a very um, a very good move to make enough to pay your customers 6%. 6%. I'm just not
It's
seeing
just
it.
gonna be bad for them when the actual ETF comes out, because then the Grayscale's Bitcoin is gonna go to it's gonna lower the premium to get into it. Because right now it trades at like a 15% premium to Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because what are the fees on it?
Exactly, because
2%.
they're charging you a little fee too to like
I forget
be
where this
your
is.
It's 2% fee.
2%. There it is. Yeah. Unsecured lending. Of course, they don't have enough. They don't have the same regulations as banks and stuff as far as reserve capital, and they don't have enough reserve capital. Uh,
Did
it's
you?
early, man. There's gonna be some growing pains with this stuff, but I'm in the camp. We need these kind of institutions to get mass scale adoption, to get
Right.
the big boys in and the institutions and money managers over, investment banks over, to get into Bitcoin. We need this kind of stuff, and we got to be real about it. Sure, we wanted to leave the bankers, whatever, because of their ways, but unfortunately, we need this legacy instrument to get the mass adoption.
Yeah, I decided to keep my money in BlockFi because um, I think that the crypto community allowing BlockFi to die is would be a really, really bad move for um, crypto community. I actually, I don't think, I'm not even sure the crypto community could easily survive it. There would be there's so many funds at risk. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in funds, of
It's
retail
12
funds at
million.
risk. Yeah, yeah.
12 billion, sorry.
I don't see how that I don't see how they could let that die. And I don't know if you saw this, guys, but yesterday there was somebody, Grayscale released some type of tweet. I can't remember exactly what it says. Maybe I can pull it up. Um, but they released a tweet saying that they had some type of program, and I was reading through the some type of new program, and I was reading through the comments, and one of the comments was, "This is a BlockFi bailout." And so maybe I'll see if I can find that email or
Oh,
BlockFi
that
bailout.
the
tweet.
new round of fundraising.
Yeah, let me look it up here.
I saw someone posted a thread about their growth since their first funding, Series D. They were like worth in the hundreds of millions, and now they're 15 billion under management. Or no, their valuation was 3 billion.
Well, yeah, and that kind of brings up another topic though, related to ETFs. There's a huge amount of news recently on Bitcoin ETF. JP Morgan, they're launching what they call a Bitcoin exposure basket, which is essentially an ETF replacement. Um, Grayscale, Grayscale just announced this week that they're hiring 9 ETF positions, 9 full-time positions that are specifically around ETFs. Van Eck and Bitwise already have their ETF in. Wisdom Tree have their ETF in. Remember earlier when we were talking about like somebody that could see the future? Well, I think if you're in Bitcoin, the future you're seeing is we're going to see a major move up like we've been talking about over the next 3 months. And part of that is going to be an ETF approval in the next 3 to 6 months. And that's going to absolutely open the floodgates. You see, I don't know if you guys have followed the Canada ETF, but
I saw
it's
that
going.
There's
lower
the Canadian
premiums.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Damn,
Yeah, and
yo,
it's
that's where they test everything first. Like cannabis stocks, they tested it first there in Canada.
yep.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
pretty optimistic, guys, that with the ETFs, and you get companies like JP Morgan putting together stuff to kind of work their way around the ETFs not being approved by SEC yet. Wisdom Tree is like one of the biggest ETF organizations. They're putting something together. It's just everything's happening right now. To me, I think it's rocket fuel.
yeah, I agree. And a whole new breed of investors are coming in with those ETFs.
Yep. Yeah, it's nuts.
There's another. I found this RSK about second layer Bitcoin. It's RSK mainnet, and basically you can go on there. You can make. They call it fast Bitcoin, RBTC, and it just got me thinking about, folks are talking about second layer Bitcoin. We don't need. This is the super maxis that are saying this about Bitcoin. Why do we need these other, why do we need Ethereum? Why do we need these other shit coins? But I'm looking at this and why do we need it? Because it's still not Bitcoin. When you start going to the second layer of Bitcoin, it's actually no longer Bitcoin. In order to go in there and use these RSK platforms, the second layer, right? You have to turn it into, it's essentially a synthetic Bitcoin,
You should
right?
just put an I in there. Make it IRISK.
Risk,
Yeah.
right? It is a risk. It really is. It's it's silly.
I don't know. You'd put like Lightning in that group as well, though, right?
The Lightning Network is a second layer, yeah.
I guess my point is, Josh, like I wouldn't say to our audience that all second layer. I mean, I think there's absolutely a major need for second layer stuff. I mean, it's the only way
Well,
that
that's
Bitcoin
what I'm saying.
truly scales.
Yes. So it is. I guess my question is about the Lightning. It's still Bitcoin when you
It's
use it? Are
Yeah.
they converting it to something else so it can work on that
Yeah,
network, or is it still Bitcoin?
I see your point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand enough. I guess what I thought you were saying, you're saying there's a difference between a side chain, which is what Lightning is, and a second layer is what you're saying. Because I wouldn't consider it a second layer. I would consider that like a Bitcoin stable coin, if that's what it is.
I don't know enough about Lightning and just to know if it's still Bitcoin or if it's a synthetic.
It's a
Yeah.
layer 2 solution. It's basically it's nodes, and like you have a bunch of Bitcoin so you can operate a node, and then someone else has another node. So basically like they're like sending each other Bitcoin, or like the promise to send each other Bitcoin through the nodes, and like people are to use the nodes, they only have to pay 1 Satoshi or something like that.
Well, what I was saying is I just don't know the difference between, like, you brought up this RSK. I don't know the difference of, like, if they're, because with Lightning they call it a side chain, which basically means you
Hmm.
don't have to use the blockchain. You don't have to use the blockchain, and because it's slower, you don't have to use that to make your transactions. So, like, for example, all of the new technologies that are coming out are finding a way to process Bitcoin much faster without having to use. It's kind of like think about the internet. Like, the internet started with like IP addresses going from one place to another, and then what did we do? We eventually added in, like, what do you call them? Different, like, nodes in the network that basically speeds all of it up. That's what Lightning Network that's what Lightning Network is doing. But once again, Josh, like, we go back to like the DeFi conversation. It's so hard to tell what's legit and what's not legit. It's like you have to have like hundreds of hours and like a PhD just to be able to like sort through the BS and the real projects.
Or some connections. So I wanted to break down Pancake Swap. We don't have much time left, so
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, let's do it.
So you want to learn how to use Pancake Swap. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna cover our faces with Pancake Swap real quick for the community. Can you guys see it? At least on Twitch, maybe? Or there's a delay. Or let me share it
I
to
don't
you
see
guys,
it on
and
Twitch
then
yet.
Okay.
I'll share it to you guys, and then I'll just
Hey,
Is it
Eric,
on
can I?
Twitch?
Yeah, I see it. Eric, can I ask you a question real quick on
What's
this
good?
before you get started? So, can you help me understand, just so you can like maybe structure this a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you help me understand like does Pancake Swap let me get access to all the Binance.com coins that I want to be able to trade, but I don't
Yes.
have access to because I'm a U.S. resident?
Yes. You get access to everything.
See, because I wanted to trade Alpha and THETA, Theta or whatever,
Oh,
and I
Theta.
thought they
Yeah, Theta.
and I thought they weren't available on Pancake.
That's the biggest mistake of the year is I sold 11,000 Theta at the beginning of the year for like, I bought them at 22 cents, sold them at 75 cents, and I never
Yeah,
should have
those
done
What's
that.
it at now?
So it's at like $6 or something. I just looked.
Ooh.
yeah,
Well,
those
let's
are my
check.
two. Those are my two of my best altcoins, and
Well, it
I
looks
had
like
to sell them because I don't have any place to I don't have any place to buy them.
damn, yeah. So actually, it looks like you can't buy Theta on here.
That's what I'm
Can
saying.
you
Like I
import
just
it?
Basically, well, Theta is its own, it's its own network and stuff. So the only place I know you can get it besides Binance is KuCoin.
no, but the problem is KuCoin doesn't have any liquidity.
Yeah, so
So
you're paying up for it when you buy it
yeah,
though.
so I can find Alpha, but I can't find any place that has Theta, and which is like one of my top five altcoins for the
Damn.
Hmm.
year.
Yeah, that one's really good. It's up a lot. So here, I wanted to explain Cake really quick. So basically, BNB is the native token. Cake is the farming token, the native farming token for the platform. Um, Basically, there's Ethereum coins, which are ERC20, and then there's also this other thing. It's called BEP20. So that's basically Binance Exchange something. I don't know what it stands for, but it's called BEP20. So that's why you can change BNB right now to Ethereum in here, because this is BEP20 Ethereum.
Is BEP20 Binance Smart Chains like ERC20?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
I think
same.
it's Binance Exchange Protocol or something like that.
Yeah, so it's their coin basically, and so basically that's why they have this bridge, uh, sharing exchange.
So you don't have
Boom,
to
boom,
pay
boom.
the gas fees.
Okay, so now here's this tab, so you guys can see.
Yep.
Is there?
All right, so now here's the how you do it is you connect your wallet up here. I think, oh, I can't do it because I don't have a VPN on right now because it's not valid in, you can't use it in America. So you have to use a VPN to access it, but then you would just connect
Oh,
your
the
wallet.
bridge?
Yeah,
You can't use it. Oh, I've never used the bridge.
yeah, so to use the bridge, you just say what coin you're gonna send it, and then you say how much, like 1 Bitcoin, and then you connect your wallet,
Oh,
and then you click this button, and then it comes up with a QR code, and then you just send 1 Bitcoin to the QR code, and then it'll be BEP Bitcoin, and
that
then
Bitcoin?
you can go back over here to Pancake Swap, and then you can change your Bitcoin.
Right.
It's called Bitcoin B.
So you can do that from Ethereum too?
Yeah, you can do Ethereum. You can do all the coins.
Does it
But
charge you
Binance,
Ethereum prices or
not a,
Binance
Binance
not if
prices?
you do it.
prices.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why it's so efficient.
Oh.
It's
It's
gnarly, man. It's getting
significantly, yeah.
crazy.
I
S-
I have one question though, because right there you no longer own Bitcoin. You
No,
own
yeah, it's synthetic.
Binance's wrapped version or
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but it's
synthetic
synthetic,
still it's
Bitcoin.
still tied to the price and stuff. So it's basically the
It,
same.
so
but
well,
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
it right, and that's a important distinction that it's not. Is now
But
is that a
the value is the
taxable event
same.
right there?
Yeah. But this is all happening in China too. So I don't know. You could
But
set up a business in Panama, and then
all you're doing, Groot. Oh, what are they paying right now?
yeah, this is
Oh,
Groot.
that's nothing.
Yeah, so
That's not bad.
well, I mean, it's the
That's not
same.
like a
It's pretty
ice cream.
similar to Mir. I was just calculating it. So I only got
Yeah.
4,400 in here. Every day I make about 17, 18 bucks. So, and then I just claim it on here. It only cost me 15 cents to claim it. And so what I've been doing is every 2 days, um, I've been taking it and I've either been playing with it on like my robot, or like I put one of my last ones in here. But I want to keep trading it back to here. We'll do a pancake swap.
They do auto compound. How often do they harvest it?
It's like daily, every day like that. It'll change
That's
up.
nice. You don't have to sit there and do all those
But it's like
button
10% on the
clicks.
in and 10% on the out or something like that. So you gotta pay
Ooh,
them 20% of your money, but you're making like 200% or something like that.
yeah. It's still worth it
Wow.
to do it yourself.
10%?
Yeah,
It's
it's
just a
I
Wow.
lot.
think it's either 10 or 5%.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Eric, can you help me with one more thing?
Yep.
So let's say I have Bitcoin in my Binance.us account, and let's say I want to send it to Coinbase. When Binance asks me, do I want to send this via the BEP chain? If I choose that because it's significantly less expensive, will it actually make it to my Coinbase account?
No,
And
because
see, that's
it's BEP20 is a different coin. So that's the one thing I was thinking too is like, well,
Is that a
once you
risk?
change it to like BEP20,
well, yeah,
how
like
do you
it.
change it
Is
back?
it gone?
This seems like a one-way bridge right now. When you look at this bridge, it's a
You
one-way
can't go back?
it's a one-way bridge. Well, I don't know. Can
Well,
you?
I,
Let's check.
Let's
So
see if you can go back.
Binance chain.
Yeah, you can go back.
Oh yeah, you can go back. All right.
Okay.
I
Is
was
this
worried
new?
about that.
now you
So
gotta,
it
yeah.
seems like you would want to do everything on Binance then, and then just change back to the Ethereum network when you have
But
to.
that's the point. Like that's what Binance is trying to do, and I love them for it because
And
it's
that's
good
why
good
Ethereum's
marketing.
has such a fire
But
under their butt to like move right now and make
So,
dude,
decisions.
they're an
so
impressive company.
they're all doing that though. This is becoming the norm. TerraSwap does this from Ethereum to Mirror and eventually Anchor Protocol.
Yeah.
So this is Unidex bot. I think I told you guys about this one in the chat before. I'll show you guys some of my results. Get started here.
But is this it's
So this is a trading robot. So you find geez, the charts aren't really working yet in the Binance version. Like this one's like pretty new, it's pretty fresh. So here's my trades that I got on right now. Basically with the Binance version, I was just being cheap. I just got like the minimum license up here. I should get the maximum license with the trailing stop because like then uh, I won't have situations like this where I'm down 9%. But what I did is I did cake versus ETH because I don't mind staking cake right now. I just keep getting more cake and so I can keep staking it. So
so are you staking it here or on the Unidex?
so
Or I
actually
mean on Pancake.
no, I took it off of Pancake and I'm using it in this robot right now. So I started out with 3.12 cake, traded it to ETH, went from ETH to cake, went back to ETH, went from ETH to cake. So like it slowly just
You
grows your bag. So
interesting.
I made 0.36 cake in the last 2 days, like 11.4% in two
Wait,
days.
so is this a trading? Is this trading and it's based on the results of the trade,
It's a trading
or is this a
robot.
staking?
It's a trading.
You program it?
This is a trading robot.
So do you program it or how do you set those trades up?
Yeah, I'll try to. Let's see. I'll try to set one for you here.
Yeah. I use something similar. I use something similar. I don't use any of the bots because, but I use Quadency, QUADNCY
All
for
right,
mine.
let's say it was ETH. I don't know if it will let me do, cause I don't have any like money on here, cause like I have all my trade is like already on. I'll have to. I'll switch over to the ETH version, but I'll just show you really quick the other one that I got that's up 10% right now. This is a bigger one than I did. So I had 1,000 RLC. I traded it to ETH. I had ETH and then I traded it back to RLC. So I got 23.7 coins, 57.83 right there. But the problem with
Cool.
this is like you were saying is like, oh, the gas, you know? So I actually ended up paying like 90 bucks in gas, but so it was totally not it was totally not worth it. But
Uh,
that's why I'm doing all this testing.
yeah, you
So
got to test it.
Unidex gas.
I,
So I'll show
I'm
you
stuck
guys.
in one right now because of Ethereum gas. I can't get out because it's more. With the gas is now more than the value of the
So
all the coins.
here's their other app. It's called Unidex Gas. So basically, by holding $1,000 of their coin, you get $20 of gas back per day. So I got like 3,500 in here, and so I get about
That's right. You
$34
told me
back of
about this
gas per
one.
day. So basically, you use these in tandem. So this is giving me back free gas, and the other one. So this is what's making my trades actually worthwhile, because I'm getting
Gas refund.
yeah, because I'm getting a gas refund on my gas. So basically,
So
how I figured the math now is
Wow.
is I just go back here and now to make my profits, I just have to deal with twice the amount of capital. So instead of using 1,000 RLC at a time, I need to do 2,000 RLC at a time to make it profitable.
Dude, Eric, have you seen that thing on Twitter where it's like, here's how DeFi works, and it's like just a bunch of arrows like pointing everywhere?
Yeah, you put
Like
it into
that's
this coin, which put it into this
oh
coin.
my gosh, man. Like this is insane that we
I got I
this is
got
we have to
wild.
do.
I
Yeah.
got one more to show you guys that I'm in. So
I have a question too. At when you're done showing this one, I ask you guys.
yes,
And I'm gonna have to get off here in just a couple minutes, guys.
all right, for sure.
Oh shoot,
So this is growth DeFi. Um,
is that what the Groot is?
this is like this is the parent token of Groot. So they were recently hacked. It was like 200. It was $222 a coin, and they got hacked. And I like strongly believed in this coin. It was like one I wanted before it got hacked. So actually, I like bought in like 5K or something like that, like right here, like right after the hack.
After the hack?
Yeah, right after the
Nice.
hack. And so how this works is once a like I think it's like once a month or something like that. They pump 2,000 staker grow in here. So it like it basically this is the same company, so it's a 10% in, 10% out fee. But by them pumping 2,000 coins in every time, like every the fee is spread among the holders basically. So to
Yeah.
unstake my coins, well, my wallet's not connected. But well, see, like basically, I was getting this many grow per staker grow, but now like after they did the pump, I'm gonna get 3.5, almost 3.6 grow per coin. So like every month, it's just growing and growing and growing.
Right. So, uh, my question is for all these, because I've done a few of these, and they all seem the same. And when you look at them, there's almost no differentiation. There's no like value. You're just going in different projects, and you're
You're following
accumulating
the
their
trends.
tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they pay you in their token. And Pancake Swap especially, it's Pancake Swap, and then it's all these little swapperies underneath it, like Rose Swap, uh, Brisket, Ice Cream Swap, Ramen Swap, and you look at these coins, and it's like, do you really want to hold these coins long term? Are these long term projects? Do you see these things staying around? Like, what is the value after a couple of these? Like, what's the value? Are we just gambling? Is this just gambling, or is this something? Are we solving problems with
So
all these things? You know what I'm getting at?
yeah, I mean some of them like the Unidex bot has a real utility. Um, Especially now that with these Binance fees. So I could put a bunch of liquidity and I would have just made, 11.4% on my money just trading back and forth on this cake.
Well, I do like this one, but the farms that it's getting into, are those worth?
So the
Would
group
you
farming,
hold those coins?
this group farming one, this is like some next level stuff. Cause like if you think about it, like, all right, so this project basically they have a big treasury, and like they're going into all the farms for us, and then like they do all the farming for us, and then they bring it back, and then they buy their coin back. So that's how like you make money, and that's why like you can keep farming this one, and like how
Right. It
it's
just
been pretty
sounds like
steady.
gambling, though. And here's the thing: you make money. That's great. I'm
But I
looking
mean,
at
like they're
I'm looking at
gambling.
this as like,
No, like they're gambling for me. You know what I mean? Like this is like,
yeah. So
you
No,
know,
I give
exactly.
them the money.
Well,
yeah,
so if you're making money, that's awesome. I say if you can make money doing these things, you definitely milk these things before they're gone. In a year.
yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, how long are these gonna last?
That's the thing. There's many different jobs in the crypto space, and one of them is yield farming. That's a position. You know, it's definitely a job because you have to like watch your positions every day if you're in these risky kind of
Mm-hmm.
things. Because like I got in that grow, I put 10K in grow, and the next day it was hacked, and I only had 5K in grow. And so and now it's only 4,400. So I haven't really lost that much since the hack. So that's why I haven't got out of it because they were totally upfront about the hack situation. They told me how the hack happened. Basically, I invested in their other program, or their so it's like both of these programs help each other. So like it's an ecosystem, and like you just have to, when you find a good program that you trust. I don't really like this whole grow and groot system. I've been like making money from it by like I've lost so much on the beginning from the hack and all that
Yeah,
situation where I'm just like so underwater in that program now. Like, well, I'll just hold on to it because I'm already in it, so it's like I might as well just like keep up because like it's still paying me out every day. I'm still making like 20 bucks a day with it, so might as well just like hold on to that like long term. Because like the most you'll be down on an altcoin is probably 2 years before it catches up and you make your money back.
until it
Yeah,
gets
man.
hacked again, right?
Yeah, until it gets hacked again. Cool. So we're probably gonna cut it off there for tonight. Yeah, we're gonna come back to you guys. What on Sunday? Is it Thursday already, or is this is dark?
This is Thursday.
Oh, Thursday show. So we're gonna be back on Sunday at
8 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
okay, 5 p.m. Pacific. All right.
Perfect.
Cool, cool. All right, we're ending it there for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, guys.